Hello, welcome back to Ghosthunter. This is Enchanted, and today we'll be continuing our journey through the prison. So first we'll go through these steam vents to actually get into the proper building. Obviously the steam will hurt us, so we need to be kind of careful going around here. And we have to get careful around going to there as well, because that will crush us and do a lot of damage if we get caught in it, so better be careful about that. Well, I say it's a lot of damage. It's about as much as anything else in this game tends to do, but it's still not something you want to end up getting stuck in, because it's just annoying. There we go. Danger over. So now let's climb this ladder and go out into the prison proper. And so I just made certain there's nothing in this corner, which there isn't. This is the last we'll see of any kind of sewers in this game. Goodbye sewers. And hello bathroom. This area is kind of a interesting fight. It's a bit of an ambush. We've got guys up on the upper ledges and these guys down below as well. Only one or two guys I think down below, but for the most part they're hiding on the ledges. In fairly irritating to hit positions, because from here at least, often they will be in, you have to kind of move around so they're actually in the eye shot, so you can actually hit them. Like little wavering bassline in this part of the game. It's a pretty interesting musical cue. There we go. This guy now. So we'll pretty much be done with these guys. There we are.
Yes.
It was just me making sure there wasn't anywhere else. But time to climb up here now to where they were, so that we can find a way to open that gate at the far end of the room. I do like this synth soundtrack here, though. Even though I've just mentioned it, but it's a good kind of, I like the mechanical sound to it because it fits the kind of a mechanical idea of a prison almost. It's very kind of, not, well, mechanical's not quite the right word, but rigid. Be better really. It's more strict. Be a better word I think for this kind of thing. So here we are in the prison proper. This part of the game can get a little weird though with exactly where you need to go, because there really isn't. While it's not that difficult to navigate, there is at least one section where it feels that a room was put in there just because they wanted to have the room in there, and not because they had anything to actually do with it. Like, there's a room coming up that I have a feeling they probably wanted to do more with, but time and budget probably shot them in the foot on that one. We'll see that room in a few minutes. For now, we're just heading down here. Unfortunately, there's nothing interesting in these cells. We can't like see anything through the slots that's particularly noteworthy, which is a bit of a missed opportunity there, but I do like the sound effects in the background of the former prisoners. That's pretty cool. This is the room. It's a bit odd because it's more of a transitional area, but the next room feels like there should be a lot more to it. I'm assuming they can't hit on the rebound, that would be kind of, and that's where the problems can come in with these guys. If they start crashing with a corner like that, especially if there's multiple of them and they all start coming at you at once, it can cause big problems. Because they do quite a lot of damage per hit. It doesn't look like that much right now, but later on we'll see them do a lot of damage very quickly, potentially. Depending on how well I do fighting them. I do quite like the curtains and everything. This upcoming part upstairs where we need to go, but this room is a big red herring because of this unique enemy here. It looks like there should be a lot more here than there is. It's just an operating room with a surgeon for no reason. The surgeon has no narrative reason for being here. There's no puzzle here, even though this makes it look like there might be something to it. There's some interesting spooks to it, but that's pretty much all there is in here, is that one guy. this is just a really weird room in general. It's interesting.
Yes.
It's definitely it feels like a set piece they wanted to have here. They just couldn't figure out how to make it fit, which is a lot of like what's going to come in the later levels now. Is, oh, we have this cool idea. Let's put this cool idea in. Oh, who cares if we can't string them together? We're out of budget. We'll just put all the coolest shit we can think of in there and hope it works out. Which, in my opinion, it kind of does. But that's my excuse for why this game feels so disjointed in the later half of it. It feels like that's probably what happened. Like they just didn't have the time and budget to string together the set pieces as cleanly as they would have liked to. For example, as comprehensively as they did with the swamp. Okay, let's head around here. Go up the stairs with some shotgun ammo and a bit of health if we needed it, which we don't. This is nothing. So yeah, this area is difficult to navigate. There's these little snippets of place because it's hard to find the actual exit, which is right there. Because it's just kind of, it's not in frame, facing straight forward. And the stairs are a big focal point that are in frame, so you think you have to go that way. But no, this is the door we're looking for. This big obvious thing on the left that you just don't think to turn left to see. This is the only enemy in this courtyard, despite the fact that there's that massive tower in the background and there's a lot of room in the courtyard. You think there'll be a lot more in here. But this is literally all we do in this courtyard is fight one revenant. There's not even like a guy up on that tower or anything like that. It's just a completely empty courtyard. I do like the statues though up on those pillars that I've only just noticed in the prisoners holding up the prison itself. That's a pretty cool idea. So now we're heading into the visitor centre. And I quite like that statue of the prisoner here as well. That's a pretty cool, fairly foreboding statue that I quite like, with the ball and chain and everything, and the cloak. This door's not open, so let's see what else we can find in this other room down here. You may have guessed from the marble floor and the fact I just said it, but yeah, this is the visitor centre. So you can probably guess what's coming up through here. Yep, the phones. It's for us.
Hey, take it easy, honey. I know a cop's life can be hard, but come on. Frank, are you all right? What's the matter with you? Frank! No, don't! Please! What are you doing?
Fairly obviously, considering how it was glowing, we want that rose. But how to get it? One thing I like about this level is the storytelling for this half of the story. Frank is, as you may have guessed, the second half of the story in the prison. The first half being Houdini, who will find out his fate in a few seconds when we head into this room and find this. A postcard. Yes, he actually successfully escaped. That's the end of Joey Houdini. I think Holbrook was his name. He actually managed to escape Devil's Scar and head over to Rio to live out the rest of his life. Unless he got recaptured, but either way, his life is over as far as this story is concerned. And now we are on to Frank's half of the story properly. I do quite like we do get some resolution to Houdini there. But you can see what I mean by these characters have nothing to do with each other, and it feels very like they could have tied it a little better together. Even just having them be cellmates or something. So, you may have guessed, this is a massive astral puzzle. This is a fairly neat one. It's not quite my favourite puzzle, but it's up there because this is a pretty funny resolution to this. It's all revolving around possession. So let's possess this guy. Because astral can't actually pass through solid objects. Ghosts in this game don't work that way. So let's possess this guy and push this switch to open the gate to the rest of the prison complex. And we'll see what else Astral can do from here, now that she has free reign of the whole building. Turn off poltergeist, possession rather, to avoid doing any unnecessary drainage of her powers as we head through here. Just because they cracked walls. Interesting. Let's just finish exploring this room though, just to see if we can figure out what's up before we move on any further. Interesting. We weren't in that cell for ammo largely, but we'll see what happens from here. So let's head up through that hole in the ceiling and see where we can navigate to from here. This is kind of a complex of tunnels. It's basically completely linear, so you can't really get lost, but that depends on if you see the holes in the ceiling or not. There's a lot of ammo and ghost energy in here, so look forward to getting Lazarus over here soon. These guys can't see us, so we can just kind of ignore them, they're fine. I do like the preview of all these areas of the prison we haven't seen yet that we're going to take Lazarus through. That's a pretty clever bit of foreshadowing in the level design there. Well, we even see what he'll be fighting, that kind of thing, so we can kind of be prepared in each room and not be surprised by an ambush of any kind. Now that really looks important, but also can't do anything physically yet at the moment, so and she won't be able to do anything with those switches, they're for later. So here we go. Through here next. We've already found ghost energy, so let's just head through here and see what this leads to. Oh ho ho! Let's wait for him to turn back round. Gonna have a little fun. You remember what Revenants did in the very first level, don't you? Let's get in on that. This is not as well controlled as it could be. You have to stay completely still in order for the swipe to actually destroy the wall. But this is kind of a neat puzzle. You're basically just burrowing through the entire prison pretty much until you get back to the starting area. It's a pretty fun idea for a puzzle, even if it's not very well implemented. Like here, for example, it's really hard to get a good line up. There we go. And now we're done with him. Now we have our way through the prison, now that we've torn apart the visitor centre. I really like that puzzle because it's quite an imaginative use of powers, and it shows that the people remembered what the Revenants could do on the very first level. They kind of kept that in mind in the level design, which is quite cool. Because otherwise the Revenants haven't really done that all that much. The closest thing we've really come is the alligators since then, knocking the fences down at the Hillbilly Showdown. Even then that wasn't much. Let's just get our shotgun out so we can just make quick work of him. Now the Visitor Center has its own kind of theme as well for the other half of the story. There we go. Taking care of him. And all his tearing. Now let's head through here and grab this rose. Don't know what we'll need that for, but we'll find out. So let's follow the trail of destruction. First head the other way just to make sure. Because there is a guy here that I just want to get for completion's sake. He doesn't really do anything and he's not really hurting anyone, but I just kind of want to make sure the array's full. I'm kind of a little particular like that. I don't like to leave ghosts unbusted. Except, of course, for that one howler that I believe left alone in the graveyard. That laziness, but there we go. It's just a howler. What harm will it do besides annoying someone to death? I like the strings on this part of the theme. So let's head through there to get this, I believe, grenade ammo. Like we'll ever use that. It's cute the game keeps giving it to us though. It's like, oh, you remember you have this cool powerful weapon theoretically that doesn't really do much because it's a crappy little splash. and does barely anything of any kind of use. But it's cute the game keeps trying to push it. It's like a fast food restaurant with like a new thing. Like no one cares about the new thing, we just want the old stuff. Give us a shotgun and the plasma rifle and we'll be happy. So let's just capture these guys to get them out of the way so they're not taking pot shots at us. That was rude, he hit me. Take some ammo from here. Head through there to that normal stockpile as well. Dude, you're not going to get in the way of me and my millions of ammo. That's way beyond what I need, but I want it because I'm greedy. The game's going to give me the ammo, I'm going to take it. It's just the way this system works. It's like, I know, I've eaten too many cookies and I'm full, but you keep bigging them out. What am I going to say, no? Oh no, now I've thrown up, but that just means room for more cookies, effectively. So there we go. That's all our goodies collected, so let's move on and see what those big doors were about. And so I've just shown that, yeah, Lazarus can't get through here. Obviously there's a pickup there too, we will eventually, but not yet. So here we'll finally use this. And we'll head through to the final part of the prison. Yeah, this is a really short level. It's kind of weird, but there we go. Let's just wait for it to load the other half of the level. Well, 2 rooms, really. I'm being unfair, there are 3 rooms. Welcome to the Yellow Mile. Yep, this part of the cells is in fact death row. And we will find out how Frank's story continues from there next time. So I'll see you later. Goodbye.